Don't you go anywhere. Coming up next is Indie News number 129. This is going to be an all-image comic edition of Indie News. We're going to talk about the Golden Age, the story we've talked about before. We've got an update on it. We're also going to talk about Walking Dead and some of the characters that everybody wants to see but aren't going to see in the comic anytime soon. We're also going to talk about how Jupiter's Children became Jupiter's legacy. And we're going to wrap it all up with the return of the dead man, Lazarus. All that and more coming right up. Here at Alternate Reality, we have a first day sale, and in that first day sale, I picked 7 books, and I mark them at 40% off on the day they first come out. That's right, New Comic Day. And those Magnificent 7 are made up of 4 comics and 3 trade paperbacks. Now, that's every week here at the store, so be sure to stop down and save 40% off 7 of the hottest new titles that are going to ship this week.
They're not as popular, they're not as sophisticated, they're not as refined, but they talk about indie comics anyway. I give you The Outcasts, Comic Book Man, and Bo.
You tell him I'm coming, and Elle's coming with me, and we're bringing Mama Devil's bean dip. Indy Comic Book News, episode 129, Grape Drapes.
Hey folks, Comic Book Man here. Welcome once again to my video outhouse. Bo?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
What time is it?
It's Indie News time.
Indie News time, coming to you from this place, Alternate Reality, located at the intersection of 111th and Kedzie in beautiful downtown Mount Greenwood. Alternate Reality, where all of my indie comics, especially my Image indie comics, oxymoron, I know, are 15% off every day for everyone. Bo! The Golden Age is coming to Image Comics. Maybe.
Well, it's coming to Image Comics, but not from the people we thought.
No, different people.
Jonathan Ross and Tommy Lee Edwards, who gave us Turf, we're going to do a series called The Golden Age about superheroes in retirement.
Yes.
But apparently there were some issues between the two of them, and so Tommy Lee Edwards has walked away from the project, and someone else is going to draw it. Now, Edwards, as far as I know, drew about 2/3 of this thing already, so they got to start from scratch. Because the promo material's out there, and it's online. You can get stuff, and if the two of them have had a falling out about the Golden Age, I don't think we're going to see that second limited series of Turf.
Not at all?
I don't think it's going to happen. Well, not from Tommy Lee Edwards, I don't think.
You know, Sweet Dan Sweet's going to be upset about that.
Yeah, well.
He liked that series.
Well, if the movie does well, then maybe Ross and Edwards will make up.
No, maybe. Maybe. You know, it worked out with The Walking Dead. You had Allred and Kirkman. They made up after one dragged the other into court. They made up afterwards, and they're best buddies now.
No, they're sociable. Well, no, I don't even think they're sociable. I think they still avoid each other at cons, although Moore goes, here's my check.
But he's happy.
Yes, he's quite happy with that check.
Well, you know, what's Kirkman's problem? It's not like it came out of his pocket. I'm sure the studio paid for it. Speaking of The Walking Dead, a lot of folks have wondered when the Dixon brothers, Daryl and Merrill, are gonna show up in the comic.
Daryl and Merrill.
When are they gonna show up?
They're not coming back to the comic. They weren't in the comic that long to begin with.
Asked and answered.
They're a big part of the TV show. Well, at least one of them will be. I have a feeling that Merrill's not going to make it past next season.
I don't think so.
But they'll never see him back in the comic. Kirkman also said he walked away from Haunt because he was very, very busy. But at some point he will return to write the novel. Right to comic.
Walking Dead's an incredibly ballsy series, but I got a feeling that Daryl is not going to be getting killed off anytime soon. I think he will at some point, but not anytime soon.
Merrill can go because I mean Michael.
Well, Merrill, yeah, but
Daryl will be around
because girls love him.
Yeah, Daryl's become a heartthrob, even though he's like this really obnoxious redneck. But he's become a heartthrob.
He's going to be sticking around for a while. Merrill, on the other hand.
Although Michael, I mean,
you can always come back as flashbacks.
You know, a guy with a fake hand. You know, I had a feeling the second episode of the next season, Merle's not gonna end up dead.
Okay. Meanwhile, Jupiter's Children, which we've talked about before, was Mark Millar book over at Image. It's gone through some changes.
Well, Mark Millar and Frank Quitely were doing a limited series called, actually it's an ongoing series called Jupiter's Children.
We've talked about this before.
It is now going to be called Jupiter's Legacy, and it will ship in April. Now, Jupiter's Children apparently was already trademarked by a relatively obscure band, although Millar and Quitely did copyright the name and probably could have crushed this guy in court. Their attitude was, forget it, let them have the name. We'll change it into Jupiter's Legacy, whatever.
It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's like
Legacy Children.
Yeah, Legacy Children. They're not exactly going to suffer. You know, and you know the comic's going to come out, and there's going to be a movie based on it. And we're going to make way more money than this guy who has this band that no one's ever heard of. So, what's the issue?
And our last story up is biblical and involves Lazarus. That's right, Lazarus. He's coming to Image via Greg Rucka and Michael Lark.
Gotham Central's Greg Rucka and Michael Lark. It's an ongoing series. It'll start sometime in the middle of 2013. It is going to be set in a near future world crippled by economic inequality. And the lead character will be a
sounds
genetically enhanced woman who protects the 1%.
Yeah, we'll be catching up shortly.
And we'll be catching up shortly.
What do you mean catching up? What do you mean catching up?
We see a lot of rich people walking around the streets today? Yeah, I think that.
And that's it. We're done. Finish right here. We got no more indie comic news. But go to the store's website. Check out all the indie comic news. This man sends me that post up there. Bo?
Yes?
Let him have it.
Sarah's favorite character in Walking Dead is actually Merle.
He can remember a comic book from 20 years ago, but he can't remember the name of his own web address. www.myalternatereality.com.
Cool.
So stop off at the store's website. Check out all his news. And until next time, this is Comic Book Man.
And this is Bo.
Saying...
Jonex Noel, y'all!
I could be a heartthrob, too. Bye.
The Video Outhouse is brought to you by some of the finest people willing to work for free. This is a list of some of them.